So you're trying to keep up with everything, right?
Right.
Especially in worlds like the MCU. But you want to cut through the noise, get the real story without feeling totally buried.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot to track.
Well, that's what we're going to do today. We're taking a really focused look, a deep dive into some pretty interesting recent developments. Specifically, what those Thunderbolts post-credit scenes are telling us.
Exactly. You shared that article, today's paper, May 2nd, 2025. And yeah, the mission here is to unpack those final moments from Thunderbolts. What do they really signal about where the MCU is heading? You know, hints about the Fantastic Four, the next Avengers, maybe.
Okay, let's get into it. Thunderbolts, just as a quick setup for everyone, the core idea is this team of, well, anti-heroes.
Yeah, definitely not your standard heroes.
Right. You've got Yelena Belova, Bucky Barnes, Red Guardian, Ghost, U.S. Agent, quite the crew. And they're put together by Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
Who's always seemed to be operating in the shadows, putting together these unconventional assets.
Exactly.
Okay.
But the article you sent makes it clear. The real clues for what's next, they come after the main credits roll.
That's spot on. The film itself gives us this pretty volatile group dynamic, I imagine. But yeah, it's those post-credit scenes that really broaden the scope, setting up bigger things.
So the first one, the mid-credit scene, sounds like it offers a bit of a breather, some humor. It's Alexei Shostakov, Red Guardian.
Yeah, good old Alexei.
And he's in a grocery store, apparently just admiring a cereal box with his picture on it.
He is. And what's great about it, well, what's interesting is how it connects back to his whole arc in the movie. You know, he was really craving that recognition, that fame.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So the cereal box, which is apparently tied to this idea of the new Avengers, it's kind of a funny, maybe slightly pathetic, but for him, a meaningful win. It's validation.
Huh. That makes sense. Nice little character moment then.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just a quick touch of comedy and character payoff.
Okay, but then we get the final post-credits scene. And this is where, according to the article, the really big MCU stuff starts to click into place. It mentions a time jump.
A significant one, yeah. 14 months after the main Thunderbolts story wraps up.
Wow, okay. 14 months.
And we see the team, presumably in their new base of operations. And there's some talk, apparently, about who they are now, their team identity. Yeah, and Sam Wilson's name comes up. Possibly looking to maybe reclaim the Avengers title somehow.
Interesting. Okay. And Bob, Sentry, he's still around.
He is still with the team, but more in a support role, it seems. And the key thing is he's apparently got his Sentry powers under control now.
Really? That's a big development from what we know about Sentry.
Huge. The article says he's got a handle on them, which, you know, suggests maybe a whole storyline in Thunderbolts was about getting him stable. That control could be crucial going forward.
Okay, this is where my ears really perked up reading about it. The article says they get an alert, unidentified aircraft heading their way.
Standard enough setup.
But the reveal, it's a ship, and it's got the 4 logo. You know what that means.
Oh, yeah. Unmistakable. This is it. The direct nod, the lead-in to Fantastic Four. First steps.
Finally.
Exactly. The article even doubles down, mentioning the cast we already knew about: Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Eben Moss-Bachrach. This isn't just a hint. It's basically pointing a big neon sign towards their arrival.
Wow, okay. That alone is massive news for the MCU.
But it doesn't stop there, does it? The article quotes something specific.
It does. It says quite clearly, the new Avengers and Bob will return.
The new Avengers. So that confirms that name, or at least that grouping.
Seems like it. And connecting the dots, especially with this whole multiverse saga playing out.
Yeah.
The article then drops the date for Avengers. Doomsday, May 1st, 2026.
Right, Doomsday. Yeah.
And then comes the real bombshell, the return of Robert Downey Jr.
Wait, as Iron Man? How? Or...
Not as Tony Stark, as Victor Von Doom.
Get out of here! Robert Downey Jr. as Doom.
That's what the article reports, Victor Von Doom. Wow, okay, my brain just did a complete flip. RDJ as Doom. That's a game changer. Like,
yeah.
Completely unexpected. How will fans react to that?
It's certainly going to generate a lot of discussion. Is it a Doom variant? Has he crossed universes? So many questions.
Okay, so RDJ as Doom in Avengers. Yeah. Doomsday in 2026. If that wasn't enough...
There's more. The article also mentions the follow-up. Avengers. Secret Wars in 2027.
Jeez. So this one post-credit scene from Thunderbolts is basically laying the track for the next, what, 3-4 years of the entire MCU?
Pretty much. It's doing some heavy lifting. It shows how Thunderbolts, which maybe look like a smaller, grittier side story, is actually plugged right into the main massive multiverse narrative.
Yeah, the arrival of the Fantastic Four, setting up not one, but two Avengers movies, and this insane Doom casting.
Yeah.
It's all woven together.
Absolutely. It demonstrates that interconnectedness Marvel is known for, just on potentially an even bigger scale now.
So let's wrap this part up. Basically, these Thunderbolts post-credit scenes, not just fun little extras, they're critical signposts.
Definitely crucial info.
Signaling the Fantastic Four are, like, imminent. Confirming a new Avengers team is forming, with Bob involved,
Right.
and dropping the absolute bombshell that Robert Downey Jr. coming back, but as Dr. Doom setting up Doomsday and Secret Wars.
You got it. It all flows from those scenes.
And for you listening, hopefully this deep dive gives you that clear picture, right? You get the key takeaways from this article, understand the trajectory without needing to sift through everything yourself.
Precisely. It distills the core information about where things seem headed. And, it leaves you with some pretty big questions to chew on.
Like what?
Well, think about it. You've got the Thunderbolts, this team of complex, maybe morally gray individuals. Then you're bringing in the Fantastic Four Marvel's first family, generally seen as more traditional heroes. What's that dynamic going to look like when they inevitably cross paths? Probably in these Avengers films.
Yeah, talking about a clash of styles.
Yeah, exactly. And then throw Robert Downey Jr.'s Victor Von Doom into that mix. A familiar face playing arguably Marvel's greatest villain. What role is he going to play in shaping all this? How does his presence change the game for everyone involved? Definitely gives you something to think about until we get more answers.